Hello friends, welcome to my channel Dental World. Today we will study about enamel. Enamel. It forms protective covering of variable thickness over entire surface of crown. It has maximum thickness at cusp, that is about 2 to 2.5 mm. Enamel is yellowish white to grayish white in color. Enamel is semi-permeable in nature. It is composed of 96% of inorganic material, that is hydroxyapatite crystals, and 4% of organic substance and water. Enamel rods. Enamel is composed of enamel rods or prisms, rod sheets, and in some regions cementing interprismatic substances. Enamel rods are cylindrical in longitudinal section. Enamel rods are more in length than their thickness because of their oblique or wavy cores. Enamel rods are present in various patterns, that is keyhole pattern, staggered arcs, stacked arcs, irregular rods near dentoenamel junction. Paddle shaped prisms are more common in human enamel, which is also known as keyhole pattern. Each enamel rod is built up of segments separated by dark lines that gives it a striated appearance. Generally, the rods are oriented right angle to the dentine surface. In deciduous tooth, at cervical central part, they are approximately horizontal near the incisal edge at cusp tip. They changes gradually to an increasingly oblique and almost vertical in the region of edge or tip of cusp. In permanent tooth, rod arrangement is similar in occlusal two-third region of cervical region. They deviated from the horizontal in an apical direction. HS bands or Hunter-Schiger's bands. The change in the direction of rod is responsible for formation of HS bands. They are alternating dark and light bands of varying width. They originate at dentinoenamel border and pass outward, ending at some distance from outer enamel surface. Incremental lines of Retzius. These are the brownish band in ground section of enamel. They illustrate incremental pattern of enamel, that is successive opposition of layer of enamel during formation of crown. In longitudinal section, they surround the tip of the dentine. Neonatal line. As the enamel of deciduous teeth form before and after birth, the neonatal lines are seen as a line of demarcation between the enamel formed before birth and enamel formed after birth. Neonatal line is due to the abrupt change in the environment and nutrition of newborn infant. Neonatal line is seen in deciduous teeth, and in permanent teeth, neonatal line only seen in molars, not in other permanent teeth. Dentinoenamel junction. Junction between enamel and dentine established during development of enamel and dentine. It is a scalloped line where the scallops or convexities are directed towards dentine. In dentinoenamel junction, the crystals of dentine and enamel mix with each other. It is more pronounced in occlusal surface where masticatory stress are greater. There is some hypocalcified structures present in enamel, that is enamel lamellae, enamel tufts, and enamel spindles. Enamel lamellae. Enamel lamellae, these are the thin leaf-like structures extended from enamel surface to dentinoenamel junction. There are three types of enamel lamellae: type A, type B, and type C. Type A lamellae are composed of poorly calcified rod segments. Type B lamellae consisting of degenerated cells, and type C lamellae arising in erupted teeth where cracks are filled with organic matters. It is suggested that enamel lamellae act as pathway for caries production bacteria. Enamel tufts. Enamel tufts arises at dentino-enamel junction and reach into enamel about 1/5 to 1/3 of its thickness. These enamel tufts are the ribbon-like structures, inner end of which arises at dentin. Enamel tufts consist of hypocalcified enamel rods and interprismatic substances. Enamel spindles. Enamel spindles are the odontoblastic processes pass across the dentino-enamel junction into enamel. Since many are thickened at their end, therefore they are termed as enamel spindles. Thank you.